Your home's heating system is meant to keep you safe and warm. It's a source of comfort when it's biting cold outside. But a few simple and frighteningly common mistakes can turn it into a silent killer. Right now, your home could be slowly filling with a deadly, invisible, and odorless gas, and you wouldn't even know it until it's too late. Today, we're exposing 9 common heating mistakes that lead to fatal carbon monoxide poisoning, turning your furnace from a friend into a hidden threat. This isn't about scaring you, it's about saving lives through awareness. Carbon monoxide, or CO, is created when fuels like gas, oil, wood, and charcoal don't burn completely. When your heating appliances are broken or used the wrong way, this gas, which has no color, no taste, and no smell, can build up inside your home. The tragedy of CO is that its first symptoms look like something else entirely. They often mimic the flu, causing headaches, dizziness, nausea, and fatigue. Many victims just feel sick, lie down to rest, and never get back up. The gas quietly pushes the oxygen out of their blood, suffocating them from the inside out. That's why CO has earned the chilling nickname, the silent killer. The numbers are staggering. In the U.S. alone, unintentional, non-fire-related CO poisoning kills over 400 people and sends more than 100,000 to the emergency room each year. A recent trend analysis from the Consumer Product Safety Commission, or CPSC, shows that CO poisoning deaths linked to consumer products are a serious problem. Heating systems are one of the leading causes of these deaths, especially during the colder months from November through February. The goal here is to give you the knowledge to make sure your home never becomes one of those statistics. We're going to walk through 9 specific, everyday mistakes that create this deadly gas. We'll break down why they're so dangerous and cover the warning signs you absolutely cannot ignore. By the end, you'll know the risks and, more importantly, the concrete steps you can take starting today to protect yourself and your family. This information could save your life. Let's get started. Number 1. Using gas or kerosene heaters without proper ventilation. First up is something people often grab for a quick blast of heat: a portable fuel-burning space heater. We're talking about heaters that run on kerosene, natural gas, or propane. If your main heating goes out or you have a drafty room, bringing one of these in seems like a quick fix. They're fast, they're effective, and they can make a chilly room feel cozy in minutes. But that convenience hides a deadly risk. So, where's the danger? It's in how they work. Any appliance that burns fuel also creates exhaust. A proper furnace vents these gases, including carbon monoxide, safely outside. But portable heaters are often unvented, meaning all that exhaust gets dumped directly into the room with you. When you use one in a closed-off or poorly ventilated area, like a bedroom or a garage, you are literally pumping carbon monoxide into the air you're breathing. Think of it like running a car in a closed garage, just slower and sneakier. At first, you won't notice a thing. The heater is warming the room, doing its job. But as it runs, it's eating up oxygen and spitting out a steady stream of carbon monoxide. And since CO is invisible and odorless, you have no clue the danger is mounting. The air doesn't smell weird. You don't see any smoke, but the gas level is climbing. The tragic irony here is that people often use these heaters most dangerously when they are most vulnerable. While sleeping, someone might turn on a kerosene heater in their bedroom, close the door to trap the heat, and drift off. As the CO level rises, it might cause a slight headache or grogginess, but a sleeping person won't notice these signs. The instructions for these heaters are crystal clear. Only use them in well-ventilated areas. But what does well-ventilated really mean when it's freezing outside? It means opening a window or cracking a door? Of course, that feels completely backward when you're trying to get warm. This is the paradox that leads people to make a fatal mistake. They choose immediate warmth over the abstract danger of an invisible gas. Number 2. Not changing or cleaning furnace air filters regularly. The second deadly mistake is one of the most overlooked parts of home maintenance: forgetting to change your furnace filter. It's a cheap and easy job that homeowners know they should do but often put off. What most people don't get is that this simple neglect can start a chain reaction that ends with carbon monoxide poisoning your home's air. Here's how it unfolds. Your furnace filter's job is to trap dust, hair, and other gunk to keep it out of the sensitive parts of your HVAC system. Over time, that filter gets clogged and turns from a screen into a solid wall. This blockage chokes the airflow through the furnace, The system is designed for a specific amount of air to keep its components at the right temperature. When that airflow gets cut off, the system starts to suffocate. The most critical problem this causes is at the furnace's heat exchanger. The heat exchanger is a metal chamber that separates the air you breathe from the toxic exhaust gases created by the burners. The burners heat up the exchanger, and your home's air blows over the outside of it, gets warm, and then travels through your vents. That metal wall is the most important safety barrier in your furnace. But when a dirty filter restricts airflow, the heat exchanger can't get rid of its heat. It gets hotter and hotter, way beyond its normal operating temperature. This extreme heat puts massive stress on the metal. Over time, all that stress can cause tiny cracks to form. And that's when things get critical. A cracked heat exchanger is a direct hole in the wall between your air and the poison gas. Now, the carbon monoxide produced during combustion has an escape route. It can leak directly into the heated air that's being sent to every room in your house. Your furnace, the thing meant to keep you warm, has now become a delivery system for poison, efficiently pumping the silent killer through your vents and into your bedrooms. The scariest part? A furnace with a cracked heat exchanger will often keep running, at least for a while. You might not notice anything is wrong. The heat is still on. But with every cycle, it's poisoning your home. This is why a simple dirty filter is so much more than a minor issue. It sets the stage for a catastrophic failure. Changing your furnace filter every 1 to 3 months isn't just about efficiency. It's a fundamental safety step that prevents the overheating that can lead to a cracked heat exchanger. Number 3. Skipping annual furnace and heating system inspections. The third critical mistake is a gamble far too many homeowners take: skipping their professional, annual heating system inspection. It's the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mindset. The furnace kicks on and makes heat, so everything must be fine, right? That assumption isn't just wrong, it can be deadly. A furnace can seem to work perfectly while hiding dangers that only a trained technician can spot. Think of an annual inspection as a checkup for the most important appliance in your house. An HVAC pro doesn't just glance at it. They run a whole checklist of tests designed to catch problems before they become disasters. One of the main things they look for is the very issue we just talked about: a cracked heat exchanger. While a clogged filter can contribute to this, cracks also happen from simple old age, rust, or defects. A technician uses specialized tools, like a combustion analyzer, to measure the gases in your furnace's exhaust. A high reading of carbon monoxide is a huge red flag. They may also use a small camera to look inside the heat exchanger, where you'd never be able to see. Finding a crack isn't an upsell, it's spotting a life-threatening hazard. Beyond that, they inspect the entire venting system, the pipes that carry CO safely out of your home. They look for cracks, rust, and blockages that could cause toxic fumes to leak back inside. A disconnected vent pipe in an attic or basement can silently fill your house with poison. They also check the burners to make sure they're clean and the flame is the right color. A healthy flame is typically blue and steady. If it's yellow, flickering, or lazy, it's a sign that the fuel isn't burning right, which means it's producing more carbon monoxide. They'll also check and clean the ignition system to make sure it's working safely. And finally, they test all the safety controls. Modern furnaces have sensors and switches designed to shut the system down if it overheats. An inspection makes sure those safety features actually work. If a limit switch fails, your furnace could overheat without stopping, dramatically increasing the risk of a fire or a cracked heat exchanger. Number 4. Using gas ovens or ranges to heat the home. When it's freezing and the power goes out, desperation can lead to some really bad decisions. When the furnace is dead, people look for any source of heat they can find. One of the most common and lethal temptations is to use a gas kitchen stove or oven as a makeshift heater. The logic seems simple. It makes a big flame and a lot of heat. But doing this is basically sending a formal invitation for carbon monoxide to flood your home. Gas stoves and ovens are designed for one thing: cooking food for short, supervised periods. They are not space heaters. Your furnace has a sealed chamber and a dedicated vent to pipe all the exhaust, including CO, safely outside. Your stove has neither. It releases all of its combustion gases directly into your kitchen. When you're cooking dinner for 30 minutes, that's usually not a problem. But when you turn on the burners or crack open the oven door and let it run for hours to heat your home, the situation changes fast. You're now running a large, unvented combustion appliance non-stop in a sealed space. It's a recipe for disaster. The stove steadily eats up the oxygen in your home while pumping out carbon monoxide. The longer it runs, the CO level rises, and the problem gets worse. Incomplete combustion increases, which creates even more CO. It's a vicious cycle where trying to get warmer just creates more poison. Tragically, news reports are filled with stories of families who have died from CO poisoning after using their stove for heat. They often go to sleep thinking they've found a clever way to stay warm, only to be overcome by the gas overnight. The initial headache and drowsiness are mistaken for simple tiredness, and they fall into a sleep they never wake up from. Let me be crystal clear. Never use a gas range or oven for heating. Some people think it's okay as long as the oven door is closed, but that's also a dangerous myth. Ovens aren't airtight and they don't vent outside. Running one for hours still pollutes your indoor air. If you're without heat, safer options are layers of blankets and clothing, or a properly rated electric space heater. Being cold for a little while is infinitely better than the permanent consequences of CO poisoning. Number 5. Running generators or gas-powered equipment indoors. The fifth fatal error usually happens after a storm, during a long power outage. A portable generator can feel like a miracle, powering the fridge, lights, and heaters. But if you use it wrong, that same machine becomes one of the most powerful carbon monoxide producers you can imagine. According to CPSC reports, portable generators are linked to a staggering number of CO deaths related to consumer products, sometimes as high as 40%. The danger is absolute. A generator's engine produces carbon monoxide at an incredible rate. A single generator can put out as much CO as hundreds of cars. Running a generator indoors, whether it's in a basement, a crawl space, or even an attached garage, is like parking a running bus in your living room. Lethal levels of CO can build up in just minutes. So many people tragically underestimate this. They think opening a window or cracking the garage door is enough ventilation. It's not. Not even close. The sheer volume of CO a generator produces can't be cleared out that way. The gas fills the space and then seeps into the rest of the house through doors, vents, and tiny cracks in the walls. The official safety rule isn't just to use a generator outside, it's to place it far away from your house. Safety organizations like the CPSC recommend placing the generator at least 20 feet away from any doors, windows, or vents. You also have to point the exhaust pipe away from your house and your neighbors' houses. This 20-foot rule isn't random. It's based on tragedies where people died even when the generator was running right outside a window. The invisible gas can get pulled into the home through air currents. The same deadly rule applies to any other fuel-burning equipment. People have died from bringing charcoal grills or propane camp stoves inside for warmth or cooking. These are designed for outdoor use only because they produce deadly levels of CO. The mistake here is trading safety for convenience. It feels easier to set up the generator in the garage, out of the rain, than to run long extension cords from 0 feet away. But that shortcut can be fatal. Have a plan times before times you need it. Know exactly where you'll place your generator a safe 20 feet away. Get heavy-duty, outdoor-rated extension cords that are long enough. And never, ever run a generator or any gas engine inside. Distance is your only defense. Number 6. Warming up cars in an attached garage. Our sixth mistake is a daily winter routine for millions of people. Warming up the car. It seems harmless, but doing it in an attached garage creates a serious carbon monoxide risk, even if you leave the big garage door open. A car's exhaust is packed with carbon monoxide. The moment you start your car in a garage, that exhaust starts filling the space. Many people think opening the main door provides plenty of ventilation. This is a false sense of security. The garage can still trap pockets of CO, and air currents can easily push the exhaust right back in. But the real danger is the connection between your garage and your house. Attached garages share walls and ceilings with your home, and they are never perfectly airtight. Tiny cracks around drywall, electrical outlets, and the door leading into the house provide a pathway. And your house can actually work against you here. As warm air rises inside your home, it creates a slight suction on the lower levels, which can actively pull the air and the CO from the garage right into your living space. Your home is literally sucking the poison out of the garage. The danger doesn't stop when you back the car out. The CO that's built up can linger in the garage and continue to seep into your house long after the car is gone. The risk is highest for homes with bedrooms located over or next to the garage. People sleeping in those rooms can be slowly exposed to rising CO levels and never realize it. Number 7. Improper use or placement of space heaters. Space heaters are a go-to for warming up a drafty room. But not all space heaters are the same, and misunderstanding the difference can be a deadly mistake. This brings us to our 7th point, the improper use of space heaters, focusing on the critical difference between fuel-burning and electric models. Know your heater. The biggest danger comes from unvented fuel-burning heaters, the kind that use propane, natural gas, or kerosene. As we've already covered, these devices make carbon monoxide. Using them indoors, especially in small, closed-off spaces like a bedroom or bathroom, is extremely dangerous. Any device that burns fuel produces CO, no matter how small it is. Electric space heaters, on the other hand, don't burn fuel, so they don't produce carbon monoxide. From a CO standpoint, they are a much safer choice for indoor heating. However, they have their own major risk: fire. The National Fire Protection Association recommends keeping a 3-foot kid-free zone around any space heater, keeping it clear of anything that can burn, like curtains, furniture, bedding, or clothes. Another huge mistake is plugging a space heater into an extension cord or power strip. These heaters draw a lot of power, and most extension cords aren't rated to handle that load. The cord can overheat, melt, and start a fire. Space heaters should always be plugged directly into a wall outlet. The critical takeaway is to know what you're using. If your heater uses any kind of fuel, it makes carbon monoxide and is dangerous to use in unventilated indoor spaces. If you must use one, it should be for a very short time with windows open, and never in a room where someone is sleeping. Electric heaters are the safer option for living areas, but you have to respect the fire risk. Follow the 3-foot rule, plug them directly into the wall, and never leave one running unattended or while you sleep. Number 8. Blocked or clogged chimneys and vents. A wood-burning fireplace or a classic furnace is the heart of a cozy home. These systems all have a critical safety feature: a chimney or flue that's supposed to channel toxic gases, including carbon monoxide, safely outside. Our 8th mistake is assuming that channel is always clear. A blocked chimney forces those poisonous gases right back into your home. Think of your chimney as the exhaust pipe for your house. If you plug the exhaust on your car, the fumes have nowhere to go but back at you. The same thing happens with your heating system in a process called backdrafting. So, what's blocking it? One of the most common culprits in a wood fireplace is creosote. This is a flammable, tar-like gunk that builds up inside the chimney. As it gets thicker, it can restrict and eventually block the flue entirely. Another common cause is debris. Birds and other animals love to build nests in chimneys over the summer, creating a perfect plug. Leaves, branches, or even ice can also create an obstruction. For modern furnaces and water heaters, the metal vents can get blocked by nests, rust, and collapse, or even just become disconnected inside a wall or attic. If the vent for your gas furnace is blocked, it might keep running, but all of its CO exhaust is now being forced back into your home. The warning signs can be subtle. You might see soot stains around your fireplace, or you might smell odd, stuffy odors when the heat is on. Your flame might look weak or yellow, or you might not notice anything at all, until your family starts getting unexplained headaches, dizziness, and nausea that seem to clear up when you leave the house. This is why a professional chimney and vent inspection is not a luxury, it's essential. The Chimney Safety Institute of America recommends an annual inspection and cleaning for all active chimneys. A certified sweep will remove creosote and debris and check the chimney's structure. Likewise, an annual furnace checkup includes an inspection of the vents. Ignoring the exit path for your heating system's poison is a gamble you can't afford to take. Number 9. Ignoring the symptoms of CO poisoning. The final, and maybe the most tragic, mistake on our list has nothing to do with equipment. It's about ignoring what your own body is telling you. Your body has its own alarm system, and failing to understand its signals can be the difference between life and death. As carbon monoxide builds up in your blood, it starves your body of oxygen. The brain and heart are hit first. This leads to a set of initial symptoms that are notoriously easy to mistake for something else. The most common is a dull, throbbing headache. Along with that, victims often feel dizzy, weak, nauseous, and confused. What does that sound like to you? For most people, it sounds exactly like the flu. And this is the great deception of CO poisoning. You feel a headache coming on. You're tired, you feel sick, and so you decide to lie down and sleep it off. This is often the last decision a person makes. Resting in a co-filled room only makes the exposure worse, leading to unconsciousness and death. Here are a few key clues to tell the difference between CO poisoning and the flu. 1. CO poisoning doesn't cause a fever. If you have flu-like symptoms but a normal temperature, that's a red flag. 2. See who else is sick. If everyone in the house, including your pets, starts feeling sick at the same time, it's much more likely to be an environmental problem than a contagious virus. 3. Notice if symptoms get better when you leave. If your headache goes away when you're out of the house but comes back when you return, that's a classic sign that something in your home is making you sick. Ignoring these symptoms isn't being tough, it's failing to recognize a mortal danger. If you suspect CO poisoning, the protocol is simple and immediate. 1. Get everyone out of the house and into fresh air right away. Don't forget your pets. 2. Call 911 or your local fire department from a safe distance. 3. Do not go back inside until emergency responders tell you it's safe. Your body's warning signs are your last chance. Learning to listen to them and to question the assumption of "it's just the flu" is the final, critical step to protecting yourself from the silent killer. Now let's talk about your defense plan, detection and prevention. We've just gone through the frightening ways CO can get into your home, but the point is to empower you with a clear plan. The good news is, defending your family against this silent killer is very effective, and it comes down to two key things: detection and prevention. First and most important is detection. Your single most important tool is a reliable carbon monoxide detector. Actually, you need several. A CO detector is your 24/7 watchman. The National Fire Protection Association says you need a CO alarm on every level of your home, including the basement and one outside each sleeping area. The alarm needs to be close enough to wake you up, but installing detectors is only half the job. You have to maintain them. Test them once a month. Replace the batteries every year. A good time to do this is when you change your clocks for daylight saving. And know that detectors don't last forever. They have a lifespan of about 5 to 10 years, depending on the model. Check the expiration date on the back. If it's expired, it's useless and needs to be replaced immediately. The second part of your defense is prevention. This means stopping CO from ever becoming a problem. 1. Get all your fuel-burning appliances, furnace, water heater, fireplace, inspected by a professional every single year. 2. Use equipment safely. Never use a gas stove for heat. Remember the 20-foot rule for generators. And never warm up your car in an attached garage. 3. Do the simple maintenance. Change your furnace filter regularly. Keep your vents clear of snow, ice, and other junk. By combining good detection with smart prevention, you create a powerful safety system. Your CO detectors are your fail-safe, but your good habits are your first line of defense. Today, you've learned about the dangers that can turn your heating system against you. If you want to keep learning how to protect your family from other hidden risks and make your home a safer place, take a second to subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you expert, life-saving information like this. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The common thread today is that carbon monoxide is sneaky. The threat doesn't come from some evil force, but from simple mistakes, moments of desperation, and forgotten maintenance. The comfort from our heating systems can make us forget that they work by using a controlled fire, a powerful force that demands our respect. We've walked through 9 paths to disaster, from misusing heaters to neglecting filters and chimneys, and tragically, misreading our own body's warning signs. Each one is a potential entry point for a gas that kills without a sound or a smell. But now you have the knowledge to fix those weak spots. You know you need CO detectors on every level, tested monthly. You know the value of an annual professional inspection. And you have the awareness to avoid the dangerous shortcuts people take when they're cold. Don't let a simple mistake turn your source of warmth into a silent killer. Take the steps we've outlined. Check your detectors tonight. Schedule that furnace inspection tomorrow. Talk to your family about the symptoms of CO poisoning. Your diligence is the ultimate safeguard. Be aware, be proactive, and stay safe.